The Knicks postgame show presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. Julius Randle had 24 this afternoon, 21 in the first half. Knicks actually up by 7 at the break, but Dallas erupted in the third quarter. The former Knick Tim Hardaway Jr., 5 third-quarter threes, 17 of his 28 in the game came in the third quarter. And Luka Doncic, 19 of his 30 came in the third quarter. Dallas as a team attempts 61 threes, most they've ever attempted, and the most the Knicks have ever had attempted against them in a game. 61 threes attempted. Dallas made 24, and they won 121-100. Great to have you with us from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pito, along with Monica McNutt and Wally Zerbiak. And the one thing that did go well today, Monica's stat of the day was on point. How'd you know this was going to be Dallas from three-point land?
Unfortunately, that stat was spot on. I mean, this is what they do, right? Like, you look at the way this team plays. Luka obviously has the ball in his hands a ton. They don't play at a high pace. There's not a whole bunch of transition baskets. They live and die by the three. And tonight, they thrived by the three, Wally.
Yeah, they were absolutely outstanding. It looked like at the beginning of the game, both teams just dragging a little bit in the first half. The Knicks, though, behind Julius Randle, were able to build that 7-point lead. But I said to myself, Luka Doncic can't continue to play this poorly. He was 3 for 11 in the first half. You knew he was going to get it going because he just couldn't get anything going in that first half. And Tim Hardaway Jr. had a point to prove playing against his old team. He came into the Garden, and he absolutely lit this place up. That third-quarter performance, when you make 5 threes in the third quarter, that really helped open up the game. Then Luka started to knock down his shots, and the Knicks' offense at times can look very stagnant, too much one-on-one, and that's what happened in the third quarter.
It's amazing, and I know this has become a theme because of the way the game is played now. Knicks up 15, lose by 21. Up 7 at the half, outscored Monica in the third quarter 40. I don't mean to laugh, but that face.
I know.
Dallas outscored the Knicks in the third quarter, 41-15.
We're going through this together in the green room, and I'm like, Pito, basketball's a game of runs. It's 15. It's okay. It's okay. The third quarter of doom. Like, yeah. I mean, you mentioned Tim Hardaway Jr. torrid. He was 5 of 6 in the third quarter in particular. Then you got other guys getting involved. Josh Green, I remember covering this team in the playoffs last year, and it was sort of a joke if this team needed Josh Green to hit threes because that wasn't really what he does. He's added that to his game. The ball's moving around, right on cue. Luka taps in. He had 11 in the first half, finishes the ball game with 30. You can't have that little resistance defensively.
Yeah.
There just didn't really seem to be much effort on that side of the ball. It was shades of pickup ball as far as the Knicks defense.
I know, and I just kind of could feel this coming in the first half for some reason. I just felt like Dallas wasn't playing well. They were missing some open shots in the first half. And when they start kicking their game into gear, watch out. And I wanted to see what the Knicks were going to do when Dallas actually started to play well. They were just playing terribly in that first half. And the Knicks they completely folded. They just had no answer in that third quarter. I mean, when Doncic started to get where he wanted to, when he started to knock down some shots, you see how good he can be. And then if he gets any type of help from his teammates, Monica, like the way Tim Hardaway Jr. shot the basketball and then the way Maxi Kleber played in that third quarter, playing defense and knocking down shots, I mean, this team is very dangerous. And, you know, they move the ball. They have shooters all around the court. They really have a defensive identity, too. Yes. I mean, when you got guys out there like Reggie Bullock, Maxi Kleber, and Dorian Finney-Smith all on the floor at the same time, those guys just breathe defense. That's all they're out there. They want to get stops. They want to make it difficult on other teams. And the Knicks, I didn't see any fight or resistance. I mean, in that third quarter, when Dallas started to flow and they started knocking down shots, the Knicks just looked like, whatever. Yeah. It's not our day. And that's concerning. That's very concerning because they better bounce back tomorrow night. I know you say it's the runs and it's the way the NBA game is now, but there's just something about, even though a team gets hot, you got to just look like you want to stop them. And the Knicks just looked like they had no answer. And it was rough.
I'm just amazing. It's amazing how quickly these games,
that's my point.
You can't just let it happen. Yeah. As a player, you have to take it personally. You have to be like, man, this is really bothering me. And I didn't really see that from the Knicks in that third quarter.
There's two things. The personality, right? Like the emotional response as a competitor. But the other part of it is that is the nature of the three-point ball in today's league. I mean, literally, there's no answer for Tim Hardaway Jr., and I keep going back to that. But as a team, the Mavs shot 9 of 17 for 53% from three in that third quarter alone. And so, particularly as it is well documented, the Knicks have struggled from behind the arc. You don't have that counterpunch. And so then I guess maybe your competitive drive spirit is challenged and you just kind of look reserved or resolved.
You know, the Knicks three-point defense is not terrible.
It's not.
But as we've talked about, their three-point shooting is near the bottom of the league. So that in this the differential night to night.
It's not good to give up a lot of threes.
And I was about to say, they give up 39, which is 38.9, which is technically 39. They gave up 61 in this game. On the season, they're averaging 39. And yes, the percentage is top 10, but they do give up a lot of three looks.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you have that opportunity as a player and as a team to get 61 threes and get yourself into rhythm, and they were pretty good looks. I mean, this Dallas team, they break you down with Doncic, they move the ball, they get open looks from the three-point line. Like, the Knicks defense has to adjust to not allow that many looks at the basket from the three-point line. At some point, make guys step in.
Yep.
You know, you don't want to give up layups and dunks, obviously, but make them make some inside the arc, mid-range type stuff. You can't just let them camp out for 61 threes. That's way too many.
All right. Of course, the pregame storyline was Jalen Brunson going up against his former team. We've all been so impressed with Brunson, his approach and everything. Had a little bit of a hard time while getting into the flow a little bit. 13 points, 5 of 11. Looked like, you know, maybe he's not 100% with the quad, but not one of his. He's been so great, not one of his better games today.
No, and I guarantee, you know, as a team, this kind of hurts the Knicks, you know, because you got Jalen Brunson, who came over as a free agent. You know, he left a good situation in Dallas. They made the Western Conference Finals. You want to step up and perform in a game like this. You really do. You want to compete, and, you know, that's just what I didn't see, unfortunately, for this Knicks team. And it hasn't happened that often yet this season. But when Dallas started to really crank it up and turn up the screws, you know, the Knicks really didn't have an answer. And they didn't compete at the level that you need to compete at, especially on your home floor. I mean, on your home floor, you got to realize teams are going to come in here and they're going to try to beat your doors off. And the Knicks right now are not taking it personally that teams are coming in here to really, you know, take their bacon out of the refrigerator or something here. They're just getting whatever they want out of the Knicks refrigerator here on their home floor.
Bacon out of the refrigerator.
They got out the refrigerator. They
got the eggs. They got everything.
They got real comfortable. But you know what? I do think a sneaky story, guys. I don't know how sneaky it is, but we talked a lot about the Brunson side of this. I mean, I'm sure there's a little bit on the Dallas side. Yes, they've been very honest about how much they miss what Jalen Brunson brings to the table, but it's also like, oh, you left us for the, okay, you left us? We're going to remind you of what was here. So one team showed up in this first matchup back, and the other team not so much.
All right, still to come, we're going to hear from Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau. But up next, we have the MSG 150 as we take a look back at some of the action from last night. Zion Williamson flying through the air with the greatest of ease. We'll tell you about that and much more as we continue after this.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your tri-state area Audi dealer today.
Back-to-back for the Knicks tomorrow, playing host to Cleveland. Note the pregame 5:30 game at 6. You can also stream our coverage on MSG Go. Knicks lose to Dallas by 21 this afternoon. Tom Thibodeau's postgame comments presented by Chase.
Describe the difference in the two halves today. The start of the game, I thought we were pretty good. We built a 15-point lead. Then sort of lost traction mid-second quarter, but closed the second quarter out well, and then started the third quarter, you know, not well.
Do you think you guys just not ready coming out of the locker room?
Yeah, you know, again, I would say I was disappointed, but the missed shots you can deal with, you know, and obviously the point of emphasis about the traveling, so there were a lot of, we didn't adjust. Right, to, okay, they're calling tight travel. So the turnovers and the rebounding were where the disappointment lied. The missed shots are part of the game. You can live with that as long as you're being unselfish and, you know, taking the right shots. That's part of the game. But the rebounding piece of it, you know, the turnover piece of it, that's hard. You know, it's hard to win like that. And so we have to fix it, and we have to fix it fast.
Tom,
they made 24 threes, but they took 61. How much of a concern was that for you?
Yeah, and again, the same thing, like when I said, like the rebounding piece of it. So we thought they would take 45 to 50, right? They ended up taking 60. And you got to get in, get out, challenge them. But then you also know a byproduct of the long shot is the long rebound. And so they had, I think, 24 points off the offensive rebounds. And when you couple that with the points off the turnovers, it's hard to overcome that. So, and usually we're a very low turnover team, and usually we're the better offensive rebounding team. And tonight we didn't do that. And so the third quarter, you know, we got outscored badly.
Bigger picture, and you guys are giving up more threes than any other team in the league, and it's hard to look at that and not match that up with where you rank in just points allowed per possession. Like, how do you believe that you guys can climb in defense while you still give up?
Yeah, well, it depends on how, like I told you, I look at defense probably differently than you guys do. You know, I do look at the things that I said, like the points in the paint is a big thing, the rim, okay, the rebounding piece is important. For me, the metric that I go by more than anything is field goal percentage and three-point field goal percentage. So I think we were 11th in three-point field goal percentage going into the night. Now, would I like us to not allow as many? Yes. That's getting in and getting out. That's flying around. It's doing all those things. So, you know, like I said, we've got a lot of work to do, but like I also know that there's things that we're doing well defensively.
Tom, you talk about the multiple efforts and getting out on guys and getting back the rebounds. Is there something still the second half, kind of that word intensity that you guys have seen before that wasn't there today in that second half?
Yeah, you know, like, again, I want to look at the film before I comment on, you know, whether, and that's usually the first thing you look at is, okay, are we doing it hard enough? And then the second thing is the scheme being executed correctly. Those are the two things you look at. And then if the answer is yes, we are doing it hard enough and the scheme is being executed and they're scoring, then you think about your adjustment. Otherwise, if you don't do it that way, you're going to be changing on every possession. So you try to identify the things that you can become good at. And then some nights, you know, you can defend a player well. Like Doncic is going to put a lot of pressure on you. We knew that going in. Yeah, and he creates good offense, and he's very unselfish. So, and the challenge for us is to give the appropriate help, and then get in and get out, and then challenge the shot, then finish your defense, and then do it time after time after time after time. And so that's what we'll look at.
From where you sat on the sideline, how do you think Quinn did in the first half versus Luka versus the second half?
You know, and again, it's a 48-minute game, and as I said, the thing about the way he plays is you can defend him well, and he can still make. And so, and he's all over the floor. There's different areas. You're going to look at him in pick and roll. You look at him in transition. You're going to look at him in the post. So you have to be ready for all those things. And then the thing that probably hurt us was like the scramble plays, the plays that came off of a long offensive rebound or one of our turnovers. And those are the things, those are hard plays. Live ball turnovers, those are tough to recover on.
It's the third time at home where you guys have had a big lead in the first half and then kind of lost going away. How do you explain in the same game where you play so well early and then just not? Yeah,
you know, and I think it's something that you're seeing that more and more in the league, that no leads are, like a team comes down, they hit 3 or 4 threes, and all of a sudden they can go on a run, and they score with 41 points in the third, right? So, you can make up ground too. Like if you keep playing the game and you don't beat yourself, you don't turn it over, you don't give up the second shot, you'll have a chance to come back too. And so that's what you want, is a consistency, and that's what we have to work on, is being consistent every night. We know some nights we're not going to shoot as well as others. Every team in the league is like that. But all the things that we can control in terms of the consistency is our defense, our rebounding, and not turning the ball over.
You guys started up 18-6 with points in the paint. The Knicks are top 5 in the league in offensive rebounding, and averaged 29th. The trenches, you guys were kind of dominating that battle in that first half. In that second half, where the Mavericks kind of came back in those statistical categories and it reflected on the score, do you think, like, how did New York lose that battle in the trenches? Do you think it was a lack of focus from the players and their assignments in the second half, or did Dallas?
Yeah, and again, I want to look at the film to know exactly what transpired. But like I said, the thing that bothered me more than anything was when we turned it over. Like, that's some of them are travels that they call tight, but we should have adjusted to that. The live ball turnovers bothered me, and then the second shots. Like, sometimes there was good initial defense, and we gave up a second. And you give a team like that a second and third crack at it, you're gonna pay. And we did.
How do you think the team is kind of responding to this style of play? But, I mean, you mentioned it. The inconsistency is pretty apparent. You'll have 2 games where it seems like you're going up, and then the game tonight will happen. How do you think the team is responding to the way that you guys are playing right now?
Well, I mean, you look at it in totality in terms of, okay, does this give us the best chance to win? And I think it does. And so, the bounce of the ball go different way. Like, there's probably three or four more wins. So. And over the course of a season, you got to believe that it works itself out. And so I want us doing the right things each and every day. Trust what we're doing. Keep working at it. When we fall short, we're disappointed, but be more determined the next time and learn from it and grow. And we have a lot of young guys that will get better as we go along. So stay the course, be strong-minded, be determined, and every night, you see, just look at the scores. There's crazy scores every night.
Yep. All right, when we come back, we're going to join you from the corner 3, appropriate, with Dallas attempting 61 threes. Former Knick Tim Hardaway Jr. had 28 today.
The Knicks postgame show was presented by Audi. Visit your tri-state area Audi dealer today.
We continue on the postgame show as Dallas beats the Knicks 121-100, outscoring the Knicks 41-15 in the third quarter. Back now from the corner 3, presented by Michelob Ultra. A reminder to enjoy every bucket. I thought interesting, Monica, Tom Thibodeau's postgame comments talking about giving Dallas more than one possession. They converted 24 second chance points.
I thought interesting, Peter, that Coach Tibbs was so calm. And I get it, it's a long season, but there were elements of tonight's performance that to me just were flat out embarrassing. And so I think for him to point out to the statistics, the things that he thinks his team are doing well, sure. But not many things got done well tonight. So I was a little bit disappointed in expecting just a little more heat. I think it's okay to get passionate in an instance like this because the team lacked passion, particularly in that second half. So I thought overall, I get it. The leadership has to be steady, but I think it's okay to lose your cool a little bit if it's going to inspire a better performance.
Yeah, that's fair. This performance, 5 in a row at home. At some point, you can't keep being okay with stuff like this happening on your home floor. Now, the second chance points where they really came into play was when Dallas played awful in the first half. They weren't making their shots that they normally make. The lead could have been more than 7. I think the Knicks could have had a bigger lead going into halftime. They could have kind of sent the message to Dallas that, hey, if you're going to play at this level, you're going to miss your shots. We're going to rebound. We're going to score on the other end. They could have really had a bigger lead. But Dallas, I saw it in the third quarter. They let these guys hang. They let us hang around. They let us hang around on their home floor. And all of a sudden, Dallas said, if we start making down a few shots that we're capable of, we can blow these guys off the floor. And that's exactly what happened.
Tim Hardaway Jr., we looked it up. It's gone quickly. It's already his 5th year with Dallas.
Yes.
He'd been coming off the bench, now in the starting lineup, and Wally, he was electric in that third quarter with 17 points.
And you saw the look on his face, too, Monica. I mean, he was the man possessed tonight. He was playing against his old team.
These are such good looks.
He was sending a message.
Yes.
Yeah, and this guy can shoot.
Clean looks.
And
we know he's streaky.
Too.
Yeah, we know he's streaky.
Shouldn't leave him. He is streaky, but once he makes 2, he can make 5 in a quarter, and that's what he did.
And it's not as if he was 0 for 4 in the first half. He was already 3 of 7 from the first half, so he's already hitting. You have to find him. And so these are the things I think that Wally and I were talking about in terms of your drive and your willingness to compete. The dude already hit 3. How are you not finding him? And he hits 5 out of 6 to start the third quarter. Like, what's good? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right, Monica.
Welcome to the team.
All right.
Welcome to the team. Love it.
Jalen Brunson against his former team. We'll get his reaction. Former Maverick now, of course, with the Knicks, and he's had a really great year so far, but only 11 this afternoon. Back on the postgame show. Knicks back at it tomorrow against the Cavs. 5:30 pregame, game at 6. You can stream on MSG Go. Jalen Brunson against his former team. His former team won 121-100. Here's Brunson postgame.
Obviously they're capable, but how kind of ugly was that for you guys?
Yeah, it was. Gotta give them credit, and they just wanted it more. That's just it. They just wanted it more.
How concerning is it that, you guys obviously lost a few here in a row?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
I said, how concerning is it that, that you're saying the other team wanted it more?
Yeah. I mean, it definitely is concerning, but I think that's something that can be fixed. Just our intensity, attention to detail, all that stuff, that's something that can be fixed. That's something that we can control. And so we just got to control what we can control and just go out there and just give it our all.
What stands out on the box score?
Dallas 121, New York Knicks 100.
Where do you think the three-point breakdowns are coming from? 61 is quite a few.
Yeah. I know Jay definitely wants to get threes up, and so they were driving, they were spacing, and hitting each other, and they were playing together out there. They were hitting from all cylinders, man. You just gotta give them credit.
Do you think the effort, Jen? Do you think the effort was good enough in the second half?
No.
What specifically? Just you guys weren't playing hard enough?
Yeah.
Were you guys just not playing hard enough?
Yeah, like I said before, like we just gotta want it more, and 50-50 balls, them getting offensive rebounds and the second chance points, like that's what we can control.
When the team plays poorly, a lot of the blame from fans, especially falls on the coach. How do you feel Tom has done with this team?
Great. I think Tom is Tom. I think Coach Tibbs has done a great job, and he's been able to put us in positions where we need to succeed, and I think he knows where to put those puzzle pieces. It's just on us to actually execute and do things. And so it's just, I know he's going to get a lot of the blame, and guys are going to get some blame, but I mean, it's on us. I mean, we're the players out there battling, and his job is to put us in positions in which he's done.
All right, post-game comments from Jalen Brunson. Knicks lose by 21. We will continue on the post-game show after this. Dallas beats the Knicks, and right now it's time for another check-in with the Knicks presented by Coinbase, a weekly series recapping all things Knicks culture and crypto, hosted by Bianca Peart.
What's going on, Knicks fans? Welcome to Checking In with the Knicks, presented by Coinbase, your weekly recap of all things Knicks, culture, and crypto. I'm your host, Bianca Peart. Let's check in with our fast break highlights of the week. Easy buckets for RJ. Birthday dunk for Randall. Robinson throws it down. Jericho Sims making it rain. RJ putting on a show. Now, let's head beyond the locker room for some off-the-court updates. The native New Yorker with Nigerian roots, DJ Toon, sat down with MSG Network's own Monica McNutt to talk New York life, hoop dreams, and music.
My first memory of the Knicks, man, we gonna start from when Starks cut to the hoop and caught that little dunk on MJ.
Just that little
It's a little moments like that in the 90s. They taught me how to be tough,
Now it's time for Crypto Craze. Our Crypto Craze term of this week is NFT. NFT stands for non-fungible token. It could be any unique digital asset that is verifiable on the blockchain. Did you know that the Knicks have their very own NFT collection? Like the Garden on game day, it's already sold out, but you can still check it out along with other amazing collections by searching New York Forever on Coinbase NFT. What a week it's been. Tune in next week for more Checking In with the Knicks presented by Coinbase. I'm your host, Bianca Peart. Go Knicks.
Bianca, thank you very much. All right, guys, Knicks back at it tomorrow, and Cleveland's playing really good basketball. 5:30 pregame. Game is at 6.
Got to flush this one down the toilet right now. Got to get ready for tomorrow. That performance was hopefully un-Knick-like. They got to turn this around at home after losing their 5th straight game at home.
Close the refrigerator.
Yes. Don't let people steal the bacon tomorrow.
We have a new phrase, everybody. Don't allow your bacon to be stolen from your refrigerator.
Absolutely.
On your home floor.
Yeah.
In your house.
There's levels to it. No cooking here. No cooking for anyone other than the Knicks here.
All right, so we got Donovan Mitchell will be here in New York. Remember, the Knicks lost at Cleveland, Wally, and the Cavs in that win didn't have Darius Garland. He's now healthy.
I know, and the Knicks had a lead in the 4th quarter of that game, but then Donovan took over. Hey, everyone's coming after the Knicks. They can smell blood a little bit with the Knicks. Knicks are wounded right now, at home especially.
All right, so we'll see you tomorrow. Knicks and the Cavs, pregame 5:30, game at 6. You can also stream our coverage on MSG Go. Up next here on MSG, it's Odds with Ends. So Knicks up by 7 at the half, but Dallas explodes in the 3rd quarter, outscoring the Knicks 41-15. Luka Doncic was great today. Dallas as a team took 61 threes, a franchise record, and the most threes ever attempted against the Knicks in a single game. Tim Hardaway Jr., the former Knick, had 28. Dallas wins it by 21. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a great night.